Welcome to the Cryptosphere. This is Cryptogenic coming at you. Today is Friday, January 7th at 12:20 p.m. here in Northern California. In today's video, we're going to take another look at Bitcoin from a couple of different perspectives. We're going to review BCH, XRP. We're going to take a look at the Thor chain chart, and then SXP, AGIX, DGB, and ZIL. And all of these charts are sponsored by my Patreon community. These charts were requested by members of my Patreon community, and from now on, I'm only taking chart requests for my videos for the members of my Patreon community, so check that out if you are interested. Jumping right in here to the Bitcoin chart, yesterday we talked about the Fear Greed Index, and sure enough, we're at 18 today. We were at 15 yesterday, which means the market has obtained just a little bit more confidence today than yesterday. I had a thought last night as I was going to sleep. I went and looked at my video again, and I said in the video that 42,000 is going to hold. I meant to say 39,000. That was a mistake. I meant to say 39,000 is going to hold, I think. But in actuality, as I was thinking about it last night, I think we're going to get some wicks. I'm thinking in the next few days, we could get a wick down to 35,000. And honestly, we might get a long, quick wick all the way down to 29,000. And let me tell you why. First and foremost, these levels of resistance and support that I've identified here, anyone can see those levels looking at the chart. Like anybody can see those levels, which means that traders set their stop losses just below this line. And so what the bears do and what the whales do when they're tanking the market is they push it just below the wall of stop losses and they liquidate a whole bunch of people. And so what I anticipate is we could get a wick down to $35,000 that would liquidate a whole bunch of people whose stop losses are right under the $39,000 mark. And that wick could come down, touch this line, and then we could take off again. Or we could even get a wick that comes all the way down to $29,000, and then the market takes off again. Now, looking at this chart from a different perspective, this is still the weekly chart. You all know I don't fool around much with shorter time frames. I like to look at a macro perspective. On a macro perspective, what we're looking at is we're under the 21-day EMA. I did so many videos about the 21-day EMA. But now we've broken beneath the 50-day EMA. So if you look back at this last pullback, the 50-day EMA was support. In this pullback, the 21-day EMA was support. Now we've capitulated beneath the 21-day and we're breaking beneath the 50-day. Now, if you look at over here, when I say the 50-day was support, I mean that we only closed one candle beneath it. All the other candles wicked down beneath it, but immediately came back above it. Even this candle here that went all the way down to 28,000, we still closed above the 50-day EMA at $34,000. So that even that touch of $29,000 was just a wick. We closed one candle beneath it and then immediately recovered back above it the next candle. So it's yet to be seen if this candle is going to be a wick or if we're actually closing beneath the 51-day EMA. We've got 2 days and 4 hours to see, are we going to close beneath the 50-day EMA? If we close beneath the 50-day EMA, that brings the 100-day EMA into play. If we close beneath the 100-day EMA, that brings the 200-day EMA to play. So if we're going to recover, we're going to have to close above the 50-day EMA and eventually make our way back above the 21-day EMA. Now, if we close below the 50 and the 21-day breaks down beneath the 50, that's another bearish indicator. And so we're going to have to take a look at it. The thing that I want to remind us is that the blockchain backer, if he's right and Bitcoin has entered into its bear market, we're still expecting to see another major push from all of the altcoins. Scientific Investor has been talking about this as well. He's looking for Bitcoin dominance to drop beneath its line of support. And when Bitcoin dominance drops beneath its line of support, we're going to see the money flow into the altcoins, and then the altcoins are going to take off again. So either way, even if Bitcoin does not recover, it does not mean that the bull run is over for the entire market. It simply means that the bull run might be over for Bitcoin. I'm not yet ready to concede that yet. I still see higher heights in this run for Bitcoin, and with the concept of an extended market, an extended run that could go all the way to August, then we're not going to look for Bitcoin to skyrocket. We're going to look for Bitcoin to have a slow grind up between now and August. But we shall see. Taking a look at this BCH chart, we've broken down solidly beneath this line. Once again, if we break back up above it and close above it, just like we did here, we came all the way down and touched 351, but then we closed at 450. So, you know, we saw, I mean, that's more than about a 25% drop and then recovery before we closed. We could be seeing the same thing here. If we close beneath this line, that would bring some of these lower levels into view, and we've got a solid bearish break there in the RSI. However, we're still making a higher low in the RSI here and a lower low in the RSI there, so that's still hidden bullish divergence. The market is still winding up. I'm still seeing so many of these assets winding up and preparing. Even as they're breaking down, they're winding up to break out. Looking at XRP, same type of thing. We capitulated beneath this line here, but we closed above it. We came down and touched it once, twice, a third time over here. Now we're breaking down beneath it. But once again, we're making a higher low in the price and a lower low in the RSI, which is hidden bullish divergence. So once again, it's winding up for a breakout. Taking a look at the Thor chain chart, Thor chain still looks strong to me. We're solidly within the trend in the price. We're solidly within the trend in the RSI. We've got the hidden bullish divergence, higher low here, flat low here. It's still a divergence, even if it's not a super strong hidden bullish divergence. It simply says to me that the Thor chain chart is strong, and I'm still anticipating a bullish break for Thor chain. And just to kind of give you a little price indicator of what I'm seeing, if we break above this trend here, let's say we break right here, my target will be 533%, and that would take us up to $97, which is epic. It's like 1,500%, 1,400% from where it is right now. Yep. 1,367%, 1,367% from where it is right now. That's what I'm expecting by the end of the season. Also, if we get a bounce here in the RSI that comes up to the top of this trend line here, I mean, if we look at the historic top of the RSI for Thor chain, bam, we could break well above this trend. And if we break well above this trend line and come back to retest the top of this line here in the RSI, we could actually blow this $97 target out of the water here. So Thor chain still looks good to me. One of my patrons asked me to chart SXP. I honestly have no clue what in the world this is, but I can make a few observations just looking at the chart. Number one, we're in a symmetric triangle. It's really a descending triangle, but it's also a symmetric triangle. Well, it's a descending triangle clearly in the RSI. It could be a symmetric triangle in the price, but it's also a descending triangle in the price. And if you look at this line here in the price, it's continued to hold. But this same line, corresponding line in the RSI, we've broken down beneath, and we've touched down to a historic low here that goes all the way back here. Yeah, so that being the case, this is hidden bullish divergence once again. From this low to this low is a lower low, but from this low to this low is a flat low. It's still a divergence. It's a hidden bullish divergence. And so just taking a look at SXP, really we simply have to chart the break of this triangle. If we break bearish, then this level comes back into play. If we break bullish, then we can chart, you know, and set some targets based on this chart here. So let's see. I would set about a 300% target if we broke bullish, and this is arbitrary, but if we broke bullish here, 315, if it can get me close to that, yep, it would take us to about $10, and you know, could be more, but we will see. I don't know anything about SXP honestly, but this is what the chart is giving me. Also, save layout. I'm going to rename it SXP because my gold and higher subscribers on my Patreon, they get links to all these charts so they can check them whenever they want. AGIX, once again, clear. Well, I'm not so sure it's clear hidden bullish divergence because This is where the RSI begins. And we've got a downtrend in the RSI here and a corresponding downtrend in the price as well at the same time. So that's just bearish. However, this candle pattern is a falling wedge, and they tend to break bullish. Even though they're inherently bearish, they tend to break bullish, but it just determines, are we breaking through the bottom of here, or are we going to find support at this line here? I would watch it. Once again, I don't know anything about AGIX, but it could be that the RSI has found some, no, it's breaking beneath that point in the RSI. So we have no real support for the RSI yet. We have to wait to see where the RSI stops, and then it's not clear that we have support. We have potential support in the price, but we'll have to see if that support level holds. We'll have to build support in the RSI. But what I would say is the bottom of it looks like 12 cents to me, 12.8 cents. So if it does break down, 12.8 cents should hold. But it all depends on where we catch in the RSI. And so we shall see. Digibyte is breaking down here, but it looks like it's finding support at this line here. There's a clear downtrend here in the price, clear downtrend here in the RSI. I would have said hidden bullish divergence. The only problem with that is that we now have, let's see, we now have a lower low and a lower low. So that we have to see where support is. Now, kind of looking at the RSI, let's see if we can figure out where there's historic support here, and see where we can anticipate finding some support in the RSI. And the closest support I can find is here. So if that's the case and we come down and touch this line here, where would the support be in the price? That's really the best I can do for you with DGB today, is to find some levels of support. And yep, I can see this as a level of support. 2.4 cents. Right now it's at 2.8 cents. So Digibyte needs to establish some support, and then we can figure out what the trend is moving forward. But it's kind of breaking down out of all of the trends here, breaking down below levels of support. But right now it looks like 2.4 cents is support. And I'd say probably that support realm would be between 1.8 and 2.4 cents. It's kind of confusing. Saving the layout so that my patrons can take a look. All right, Zilica. Zilica actually looks better than DGB because Zilica has honored this line of support and simultaneously honored this trend line. And so we've come right to support in the trend, and we're above support at this level here, which is great. Secondly, it looks to me like the RSI has bounced. And so really what we're seeing is the RSI is kind of bouncing between these two. This is kind of a broadening wedge here in the RSI. And so we've just got to see, can the RSI break above this level, but will we come back down to this level first before we break above that level? Let's see, are there support levels, historic support levels? I would see this as a historic resistance level. And we just need to see, is that going to be support? And if that level of support holds in the RSI, then we could get a bounce for Zilica. And if we get a bounce for Zilica, That would be very nice. I still have high hopes for Zilliqa in the coming days. I still got some strong targets for Zilliqa. My next target is 87 cents. And so I think Zilliqa is still strong. And especially if you're staking it, you're just making money. I'm just going to keep staking it. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, still a lot of fear in the crypto market. 3 points higher than yesterday, but anything below 30 is extreme fear. My way of life, be greedy when they're afraid, be afraid when they're greedy. That's all I got today. But please remember, this is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. This is simply informational and entertaining. So, make it your aim to sleep in peace, wake in joy, walk in love. That's all I got for you today. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.